Today, I want to talk to you about gratitude, because, well, this is coming out the day before Thanksgiving. This is the last episode I'm going to release before the long weekend. And, obviously, gratitude, Thanksgiving, they're synonyms. So it's a relevant topic. So let's dive into this episode here. First, for those of you who are in the United States here, I want to say Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. I celebrate Thanksgiving. It is a complicated holiday. If you have compassion for the people who lived in what we now call North America prior to the settlement by Europeans, they didn't fare very well for lots of reasons. And what we are told about that when we are young in school, what I was told about that when I was young and in school, well, it wasn't quite the whole story. It's the victor. The victor tells the story of the battle, right? So it's a little bit of a complicated holiday, but it's a powerful practice and sentiment. So I want to focus on that because Thanksgiving, if nothing else, part of what it should encourage us to do is to practice gratitude, to practice Thanksgiving for everything. Now, this is something that for me, it's actually a nightly ritual, a nightly practice. When I'm saying goodnight to my kids, as part of the bedtime routine, I actually ask them, what are you thankful for? It is a consistent question that they get every night to practice gratitude, to tell me. And my daughter, my youngest, she has this whole list of all these things that she's thankful for that has developed through time and changed through time, but mostly been added to through time. And, some days it's hard for her to think of anything after she's kind of thoughtlessly rattled off the whole list. But I still press on it. I still wait. And the kids know that I expect them to take a minute and to actively think what they're thankful for today. Right? What are you grateful for today? And it does not have to be big. Last night specifically, I had gone grocery shopping before bedtime. And so I was saying goodnight, and they said what they're thankful for. And I said, hey, I am thankful that when we go to the grocery store, we don't have to think about the price of food, right? I don't love that there's inflation and all that, but I could be in a million different situations in my life where I would have to worry about the price of food going up by a few percent and just feeding my 3 kids and my family. Our grocery bills are not cheap. And we buy a lot of organic stuff and, we do try to save money where we can, but groceries aren't cheap, right? And so I was just being thankful that even as groceries have gotten more expensive, we just buy what's on the list. Right? And the power of doing this every night and thinking about, okay, what about today? It could be that, hey, I feel grateful that I had a pretty good day today. Or I feel grateful that, I don't know, my sniffles from a cold are going away. Or I feel grateful that I was able to spend a little bit of time with a friend or whatever it is, right? It's just about being grateful for what is in this moment. Now, when I think about this, I wanted to come at it from a couple different angles. Gratitude is a light in the darkness. We just finished watching this, the Lemony Snicket series of unfortunate events series on Netflix for the second time, actually, as a family. And it's one of my favorite pieces of film or television that's ever been created. It's just, I don't know, it's just so fun. And it's very smart. It's intelligent and also very entertaining. This quote, "At times the world may seem an unfriendly and sinister place, but believe that there is much more good in it than bad. All you have to do is look hard enough. And what might seem to be a series of unfortunate events may in fact be the first steps of a journey. But believe there's much more good in it than bad. All you have to do is look hard enough." On my wall, I have the quote, "As you believe, so it shall be done unto you," and that's it's a quote from the Bible. It also, in my mind, is a very powerful quote about. It's not necessarily about like manifestation of physical things out in the world, although some people would, say that it is. What it's about is that our minds will find what we tell them to look for. Like our subconscious mind is always scanning, trying to find relevant information. And when we tell it to look for bad things, we will look for bad things and we'll find bad things. When we tell it to look for good things, we'll look for and find good things. And we will find that our attention more consistently goes to good things, the good things that exist in our world that already existed that we just weren't paying attention to when we practice gratitude. And, the world certainly, and modern media can certainly impose on you all these feelings of shame, fear, uncertainty, doubt, right? All these dark feelings. And our minds will readily eat them up, right? But if you practice gratitude, if you practice thankfulness, well, it's like having a candle in a dark room. It doesn't necessarily light up the whole room, right? And maybe the more you practice, the brighter the candle is, and it turns into something more than a candle, like a light, right? But it starts as a candle in a dark room. And when there is a candle, it pushes away the darkness. The darkness, it fills the darkness with light. And when we practice gratitude, it can fill those dark feelings of shame, fear, uncertainty, doubt. It can help us reframe them in a better light, and it can really make us feel better. It can make us feel better. Now, it is something that I alluded to already, that it's not necessarily something that is automatic. Like, it's not a magic pill. You don't just like sit down and say one thing that you're grateful for and suddenly your life is better, right? You don't. But the routine and practice of gratitude, that consistent coming back to, what am I thankful for? What am I grateful for, right? And maybe there's a list of them, right? Coming back to that routine and practice will grow its effects through time, right? So if you do it for a day, it may make you feel a little bit better in that moment. If you do it for a week, it may help you have a good day, right? If you do it for a month, a year, it can really start to change your life, right? It becomes an automatic habit and thinking pattern. To not just fixate on, to focus on, to ruminate about the things that are making you feel shame, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, but instead to focus on, what do I have to be grateful for? What do I have to be happy about in this moment right now, right? And it could be as simple as like, I took another breath, I'm still alive. And you could be like in the deepest pits of despair and be able to take a breath and say, I guess I'm still alive. And so there's an opportunity to make things a little bit better, right? That this is not the end, that this moment could be a new beginning, right? And the more that you're able to make this into an automatic habit and thinking pattern through practice, through routine, the more powerful it will become. And in fact, research has found recently that gratitude changes your brain. They did this research where they had people write down things that they're grateful for, right? And within 3 months, they actually showed more activation in the medial prefrontal cortex, which is the part in the front of your brain, like the part of our brain that makes us human, showed more activation in the people that had practiced these daily gratitude exercises. And that part of the brain is associated with more effective decision making, with memory storage and retrieval, with emotional regulation, right? And so For example, if you find yourself struggling to regulate your emotions when you run into some challenging or frustrating situation, it may be because your medial prefrontal cortex is not getting the juice that it needs, right? And I'm not promising, again, it's not a magic pill or anything, but if practicing gratitude somehow triggers the development of that part of our brain that helps us with emotional regulation so we can better deal with life's adversities, which will continue to come even when you practice gratitude, right? You can be grateful that you're the one experiencing the adversity. This is a lesson from Stoicism, from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. I'm not going to be able to get the exact quote, but basically he said, I'm thankful that it's me that's having to deal with this stuff, because so many other people wouldn't be able to handle it, right? So it's not like it's going to turn off life's adversities, but it's going to allow you to be able to handle them in a much better way, right? And that's like brain science is finding that what people have taught for centuries, that gratitude and Thanksgiving are powerful practices. Brain science is finding that there is evidence of what's actually going on in the brain there as well. So my call to action for you today, number one is just think, how can I use this? Like, how can I make gratitude a part of what I just do every day? What do I do every day? And how can I make gratitude a part of that? And, for example, for me, tying it to the kids' bedtime routine makes it a great thing to practice on a regular basis. And if you want more content like this, obviously this is a little bit off from breakthrough marketing secrets, right? With what I talk about with copywriting and marketing and entrepreneurship. I always say that, the better of a human being you are, the more effective you'll be as a marketer, as a copywriter, as an entrepreneur. And so that's why I love to stray into topics like this. But, certainly you can like and subscribe if you want more like this. I do occasionally release videos more focused on personal development. But also, if you're an entrepreneur, copywriter, marketer, you'll find more content like this, as well as the content on copywriting, marketing, and entrepreneurship. So with that, I'm Roy Furr, this Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Hey, I'm grateful. I'm thankful for you for the opportunity to share these lessons with you. And I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, and you find what is in the world around you in this moment to be thankful for, whether you're in the US or wherever. Find something that you're thankful for and express that gratitude. All right, catch you again in the next episode. I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.